This is FM broadcast radio.
418 Alpha, thanks.
That is AM aircraft band.
Roger, roger, good buddy. That's 10-4 and 73, K at MRD.
That was ham radio.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the info, Randolfo, and 69 to you too, good sir.
That was GMRS, and this is the Talkpod A36Plus, this time on ham radio tube. When Talkpod emailed me and asked if I would be curious to do a review on this, I told him no. I had already watched all the other videos from the reviewers and how completely insanely dirty this was spectrally. This put out all kinds of harmonics. So no, I declined. Then they emailed me back and said, yeah, we've seen those videos and we've addressed the issues and this should be a clean radio now. So I said, well, if that's the case, send it out and I'll take a look at it. So I want to review this radio. We're going to put it on the Tiny SA, check for signal purity, and we'll take a look at how to program it and just overall review of this. So here we are, the Talkpod A36Plus. I got mine in the lime green color. Now they sent this to me as a GMRS radio, but they also sell this as a ham radio. But you can also unlock it, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. But as far as what we get with it, we're going to get a 1500 milliamp hour battery. We're going to get a charging cradle, our antenna, a programming cable, a USB-C cable for charging. Yes, this does charge off of USB-C as well, so we can either use the brick there or just charge it off USB-C. We've got the little charging brick there, a handsome strap, and a clip, a belt clip that actually just clips right into the battery thusly. Now out of the box, this was sent to me as a GMRS radio. As you can see, if I try and key down on a ham frequency, it doesn't let me. So let's turn the radio off, hold the PTT along with the number 8 button and turn it on. And there we see expand, let go, it's gonna reboot, and now we can PTT on ham bands, and we are good. Now I'm gonna tell you, I've been playing with this radio for a few weeks now, and I actually really like this. Some of the thought they put into this, it's actually pretty nice once we start getting into the menus, I'll show you. But taking a look at the radio, we've got on the left hand, here's our PTT. We also have two programmable function buttons on the side. We've got a little keypad here. Here's our menu button to get into the menus, but also if we long press this, that will switch between VFO and memory. We've got our AB button here, our back button, up and down arrows for frequencies and menu selections. Bottom left, if we push that key, there's our FM radio. On the keys themselves, they've put some nice little function buttons here, and all this does is bring you right to a place in the menu that you might want to go to. So for example, say you're setting a repeater and you need to change the offset, we can just hit function and 5, and that's going to bring us right to the offset. We can go back, maybe we want to go to the CTCSS tones. We can edit it, all that right there. So pretty nice radio, nice screen, a little difficult to read some of the stuff outside. On the right hand side, we've got where we're gonna plug in our speaker mic or our charging cable thusly. Top, we've got our on-off / volume knob, along with another programmable button there. And then obviously there's where our antenna is gonna connect to, and again, a USB-C charging port on the bottom with a nice indicator light that's red when charging and green when full. So if we dive into the menu system here, I really like the way they laid this out. The first few menus are things that you're probably gonna want. You know, I don't know if Roger Beep should be the first one, but you've got your transmit power right there. Then you've got your squelch. Then you've got your frequency steps. Then you have your shift direction. Next to that is your offset. Next to that is your receive CTCSS, then your transmit CTCSS, and then save to memory. So if you're programming repeaters in this manually, whether GMRS or ham, all of those functions that you're gonna want for a repeater are right beside one another in the menus. And that is something that most radios, pretty much every single radio that I own does not do that. Here's your dual watch. Let's see, what else do we have? We can choose whether we want the name or the frequency on the display. Here's our receive, our digital tones, receive and transmit. And it's got everything you would ever possibly want. You can do everything on this radio without ever plugging this into a computer, with the exception of, I think, naming the channels. I don't think you can name the channels with this, but all of your top buttons, your side buttons, they're all in this menu, and you can access everything. So for example, let's go to PF2. That's the PTT, whatever, programmable function button. So maybe I want to have this as my transmit button, PTTB, right there. I want that as my PTTB, so when I push that, I'm keying up there, and when I push this, I'm keying up at the top. So that's nice to have right there, okay? Now, we also have a long press, but because I've programmed this to be the PTT, the long press isn't gonna work for that button. PF3, maybe I want to have this as my transmit power. You can have it go to FM radio. You can have it search. I'm not sure what the search does. You can have it scan. You can set it for your NOAA, your DTMF, SOS, all kinds of stuff there. I'm going to leave that at transmit power. So when I push that, you see, and if I go down to main, down to B band, okay, so we're changing our power. Long press on this is always going to default to opening the squelch. I haven't been able, you can't program the long press on that one. And then the top key, this has all the NOAA weather stations programmed in here. So I personally want to have NOAA for my top key. And then there you go. You've got all the NOAA frequencies there to listen to any kind of weather alerts that you might want to monitor. So pretty cool. I like the function of this. Now, here's the $1 million question, because every single review of this radio shows that this is a very dirty radio. And like I said earlier, I did not want this radio, but Talkpod said, no, we fixed it. So let's call their bluff here. We've got the tiny SA, everything's calibrated, everything's set. We're gonna transmit on 14652 with 5 watts and see what happens. Now we're gonna get some of these spurs initially, but we have to kind of wait for this to settle down before we actually take our reading. And now, after it's settled down, we can see we do still have a second and third harmonic. The second harmonic is minus 57 dB, and the third harmonic is minus 56 dB. The third harmonic just went away. So this passes what the FCC requires. So this is a legal, good, clean radio now. Now let's take a quick look at how to program this radio using Chirp, and I'm happy to announce that this works with not only Windows, but also on Mac flawlessly. I just plugged the programming cable into both computers. They detected it, no drivers to install, no nothing. It just worked. So let's hop over to Chirp and take a look. Now I am using Chirp Next, and all we have to do now that I have the radio plugged in, we're gonna highlight this radio button, select download from radio. You're gonna select which port you are on. In my case, I'm on this USB serial port. Then we're going to select Talkpod. We're going to select A36Plus, and then we're going to hit OK. And now it's reading everything that's on the radio right now, and it's going to allow us to edit it, add things to it, do whatever we want with the programming of the radio. It's going to be awesome. And now here we are. This is what comes stock from the radio. We can do whatever we want with this. So I want to actually move all of these GMRS frequencies, and I like to put them down in the hundreds. So just like that, we just moved all those. And now let's say we want to program in a repeater. So for example, I have 146.860 as a repeater near me. That is the Huntsville repeater. Let's put that in. Tone, we have a digital tone, and we need to use 631 for that because that's how it is. And then here we can set our programming power high or low, however we want that. And then this already knows that because of the frequency we put in, we have a minus offset and 0.6, so that's cool. We can also go here into settings, and this is going to be everything, pretty much everything that we can manipulate in the radio itself, but it's all right here. So for example, that short press on PTT2, that's going to PTT the B band, and then transmit power level, everything. So pretty much everything you'd want to do is going to be there. Here's our memory display. So I like to do those by name. So when I'm in memory mode, it's going to show the actual name of the channel. Here's your auto backlight if you want that on 30 seconds, auto on, 3 minutes, whatever, everything in between. So 30 seconds is usually pretty okay. All kinds of stuff in there. Then you've got some things that you're probably not going to need, but DTMF, AnyCode, channel custom channel names, whatever your heart's content there. We can go back to memories. One thing I like to do, if you have other radios saved, I'm going to bring up a new file here. And we're going to take a look. This is my Bofang list. And I'm just going to highlight these. Right-click them. We're going to copy them. Go back to here. And I'm just going to write over this. And we're going to put paste. Yep, we're going to overwrite everything. So now I have all of my repeaters that I listen to from here all the way south towards Houston and out to out west. Pretty much everything there. But then I also have, because we unlocked this, I've got a couple marine frequencies, because I do go out on the water every now and again, so I like to have those. So let's copy those along with the MERS. We'll bring those back. I put those in the 60s. Paste those there. That's great. And I already have the GMRS because we moved those, and I don't need the weather frequencies because that's already programmed into the radio. So now I have everything that I want that I use around me in this radio in just a couple minutes. But check this out. This goes all the way down to 512 memories. That's insane. That's way more than a lot of my other radios. So if you're in a really heavily populated area, like, you know, some guys out in Los Angeles, there's like 800 million repeaters around there. Not so much when you live in Huntsville, Texas, but there's a lot of room. So now that we have our code plug, if you will, programmed, all we have to do is go up to this radio tab. We're going to hit upload to radio and then hit OK. And now it is writing everything we just did to the radio right now. And here we can see we're on VFO mode. If we long press the function button there is the repeaters in there. Everything we just programmed in. If we go to 101, there's the GMRS frequencies. If I go to 60, here's my marine frequencies. Then I've got the 70s for the MERS. Everything's on there. Easy peasy. That is awesome.